What's up, everybody? It's your boy, OK. Everything is all stop your shit. Yo, so this conversation's been going around in the air. It's a crazy one. It's a crazy one too, because mind you, yes, I don't have children. Yes, blah blah blah. But I take care of them. All right. So it lingers in my head too, because it's a fearful thing. You know, your kids are your everything. You never want your kid to be sick. You never want you be seeing some moms and some people be bugging out like, get off the monkey. No, don't break a bone. Like, oh my God, when I have to bring them to the hospital, there be your kids are your fucking. And when COVID hit, immediately everybody stay in the fucking house. Kids stay in the fucking house. Lock the kids up, because that's your legacy. That's your A1. Your child should always be your A1. All your children, your A1, no matter what. Not your cat, not your mom, not your lover, none of those things are important. Children are A1. So if we can all agree with that, the topic of conversation of them going to school is a crazy one. Like, I spoke to the great J Dub on my last podcast with Everything Is Okay. He's a teacher, and I clipped his answer after when I asked him, and what he detailed is there's not yet a plan. There's not yet a good enough plan placed in place. He expressed it even to go as far as the bathrooms are always dirty. You know what I mean? There's always and I remember going to school. There's always nicks and cranny of a school building that's dirty or filthy. Bathrooms are always one of them. You know what I'm saying? Kids are nasty. Kids sneeze. Kids put boogers on one another. Kids cough. They don't cover their mouths. Kids are nasty. You want to open up schools? I see his point of view. Totally. There's not a good enough plan in place to place all these children in one space. You put them all in one space, it's too much of a liability that if one of them is sick and is not showing symptoms, he can go ahead and pass it along to each and every one of his freaking schoolmates, along to the teachers. If one of the teachers is sick, it's like every day you would have to have a COVID test available. Or every day, every child has to get their temperature taken. Every day. Every day, those children, when they go to school, have to get their temperature taken. Every day. They might even need a mandatory COVID test in order to go back to school. Why wouldn't they demand that? Why wouldn't they demand a mandatory COVID test in order for your child to go back into school? It's just these things. Those are like common sense questions that of course I would ask before I would send my child back to school. Like, do I really want to do this? Do I really want to risk that child going back and forth, having all these social things and them getting sick? Because we've seen this shit, it's not a lie. For all you people that say it's not real, it's real. People died. All right? People died. You can't take that away. There's nothing you can say. What are you going to say? That, no, they didn't really die? No. Not that the funerals and all this shit, it's all fake. It's all fake. Lick my balls. Stop your shit. This is real. And our children are the number one thing that most parents are really, really fucking concerned about. Because we don't want to put them in jeopardy for our own well-being. Because the other side of that coin is another nasty fucking argument, yo. The other side of that coin is like, yo, what happens if parents have to homeschool their kids? A parent is not working now. No longer can a parent put in 40 hours a week, because they have to be available for that child during it doesn't add up. So what happens when a parent don't work? There's no income coming in. This is common sense, no? I gotta work. For a lot of parents, school was a babysitter, but it was a beneficial babysitter, because you learn shit in school. I don't give a fuck what you like. You learn shit in school. And you may not need absolutely everything that they teach you. And yes, that is a fact. You may not need absolutely everything that they teach you, but you do learn stuff in school. You learn how to read, you learn your alphabet, you learn your math, you learn things in school. And you are given opportunity, even though it is stupid expensive to go to college, and that's robbery right there. You are given opportunity. You go to a trade school, spend the $18,000. You needed to go to school in order to get to that level, though. School is super important. I can't stress that enough. I can't stress education enough. Education is super important, no matter in what form it comes. You need to get educated and excel in something is a way of life, because you may only know how to cook, but if somebody else knows how to hunt, you got two people that excel in their areas, we survive. So you have to excel in an area, and school is one area that has been free to us to learn. Public schools, for most of us, we've been free to go and learn. We didn't have to look at it, be forced to on YouTube, or have our parents that are uneducated try to teach us something they know nothing about. No, we learned the technicals in school, and kids are missing out on that. This fucking Zoom shit is, it's terrible. I can't even stand to see interviews anymore. I force myself to watch interviews like on ESPN and like Ariel Hawani and the DC show. Whenever they do it, I force myself because I can't stand this Zoom shit no more. And then sometimes they go and it locks up. Every time I want to hear Sam Tripoli tinfoil hat, they're fucking with his network. So every time he zooms or calls with a person, you get half of the conversation. I hate it. That's not the way something is learned or processed or taken in when you're trying to share it with a person. The way you share with a person is in person. These kids learn better when these teachers are hands-on with them, have the opportunity to bear witness if the kid's paying attention or not. How many YouTube videos have we seen that the kid is like this while the parent's teaching on the screen? While the teacher's teaching on the screen, rather. School is very important for the sociability of the child as well. You don't learn what a heartbreak is. You don't learn how to be friends, how to maneuver in the crowd. You don't know about the cool kids. You don't know about the nerdy kids. You don't learn the basics of social living as a young adult or a child into adulthood, teenage adulthood. You don't learn those tools when you're not surrounded by all these personalities, and that's what school offers you. School offers a million different personalities from people. Teaches you to listen to authority. Teaches you this is the way you learn something. You sit there and you keep doing it over and 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 over again, and then you fucking learn something. You learned it. It teaches you the reward system. When you get hundreds everywhere and you're fucking A+ in everything, there's a reward system at hand. You get rewarded. It teaches you that shit. Kids are gonna miss out on all that. Kids are gonna miss out on all that not going back to school. Parents are missing out on income not going back to school. The best thing that comes out of this is that the parents and the children get to spend more time together. And that's where it doesn't fix things for a parent's income or a parent not being able to work. I think that our government should create a parent relief program. If your child is signed up to public school, you should be getting paid to teach your child or getting paid to stay home with your child. I ain't saying pay your motherfucking rent with the government money, but they should be throwing parents, $250 a week, I say, $200 a week, I say, you know what I mean? Like $800 a month, $500 a month, $600 a month for being teachers, for not being able to work, for not being able to pay your bills because you got to be at home because of this COVID stuff. But COVID didn't stop the bills. The landlord don't understand COVID. Con Ed don't understand COVID. Cable don't understand COVID. Your refrigerator and needing food to eat don't understand COVID. Your gas don't understand COVID. Your car insurance don't understand COVID. Your bills don't understand COVID. None of those things that make the world go round or make your life go round understand COVID. But you're forced to not attend to those things because your A1 is more important, Regardless of what, your kid is more important. I think the movie, what's the movie with? It's with Will Smith. With Will Smith, and he's down on his luck, and all he cares about is his kid. His real kid is in it. Jaden Smith is in it. It's a really dope movie. I forget the name of it. It'll elude me. I'll put it in the comments. I'll look it up after. But yeah, in that movie, he down on his luck, finally picks his luck up. Maybe that's what parents have to go through right now. What, until COVID changes, or until you find till you find maybe this is like that learn to code shit when all those people lost their jobs and everybody was just like learn to code like that shit's easy. I don't know what it is, but I do believe that our government should be doing something about it. I do believe that our government, maybe all you people are so goddamn privileged that you guys got so much money, and I mean the powers that be, that you guys can pay for your personal private education and have a teacher come over and whatever. But we don't got that, and we're the masses. So I don't want to have a next generation of dumb motherfuckers walking around the country, and I don't think anybody else does neither. I believe that we need to do something about this. Not every parent is up to par with trying to teach these things to their kids. And that's not a slack on a parent, because I know there's other things that got to get done. You got to pay the bills. You got to be a mom, you got to be a dad. You got to do, there's other things to be done, and that's what school was for, to at least take care of that much, to make sure your kid's not a fucking dummy. Now it's your job. In the movie Blast from the Past, Brendan Fraser, Christopher Walken, and the girl from Clueless, it was during the Cold War, and his father thought that Soviet Union was gonna bomb them, so he created a fallout shelter right under the house. So there was like a false alarm or something like that, and he put the whole family underground for like 10 years or 20 years or some bogus shit like that. The kid comes out when he's 30, but when the kid comes out, the only thing he's uneducated on is what's going on now. That's the only thing he's uneducated on. The kid is a genius, certified genius, because all his parents did was sit there and teach him. Granted, they were immobilized. There was nothing else to do. And I know that parents are under stress, so it may not be so easily forthcoming to spend that time teaching your kid all these necessities, but try. They're your A1. You have an opportunity right now. To the things that you can't fix about work and about government, about things you can't fix, and we got to sit there and just wait, or you just don't yet have a solution for. The one thing that you can always attend to is your child. You can always attend to them. Maybe you never knew that your kid could hit a ball so good until COVID hit. Maybe you never knew that your kid was so articulate, could read so well, a great rapper, a great DJ. Maybe you never knew how bright your kid was, the intelligence that they had. Maybe you never knew how much help that your kid needs, neither. How sad he is, how emotionally scarred they are, how bothered they are. COVID gave opportunity for parents to figure all these things out with their children. Figure all these things out. Take the time out and make them better. Make that next generation better than what it's looking like it might be. More people spend time outside during this COVID shit, chilling and hanging out, than they're spending in their house doing stuff that it's like smart or educational, gaining some knowledge, working out. My neighbor got a battle rope. You know what I mean? Like, you can be doing these things with you can be doing these things with your kids. You can be spending the time with your children now, making them better while this stuff kind of sorts itself out. Take the time out to educate them any way, shape, or form you can. Like I said, if you're great at cooking, make your kid a fucking master chef. So when school comes around, they're already a master chef. You took this time out to make them great at that. Give your kids some driving lessons. When school comes back around and everything good, fuck it. They good to drive. They got their permit. Now you get your shit together. You get them a car. Give them the hoopty. It's not all bad. And I know it's scary because our children are our future. And it's the scariest thing in the world to not be able to offer them that. It's the scariest thing in the world for them to not know what that future looks like. My personal opinion, if school's open, I think school should open in January, just so they come up with a better and proper plan for kids to learn in. We can't risk our children getting sick. That's just stupid. And any parent that sends their kids to school, if you did it because you have to go to work, I amend you. I'm sorry. It does suck. You're doing what you got to do. But just beware of the risk that you're taking sending your child to school. Just beware of the risk that you're taking. That's all I'm saying. Hey, yo, it's your boy, OK? Everything is all skirt. Stop the shit. up on it.